Hello and welcome to the 2025 UIAA Ice Climbing World Cup season. We've got 5 events this year. We're starting as always in Cheongsong, South Korea. This structure has become the place where we start the UIAA season, and we're going to be coming back for the next 5 years. It's enormous. There's room for 4 big routes that go up the curving walls, ice barrels hanging off, the speed wall in the middle, and what's kind of cool about this place is there's an actual ice curtain waterfall thing behind me. This whole area is a winter sports destination, so it means that you can come and have a ski, have an ice climb, and of course watch our athletes on the wall itself. Before we kick off though, here's a reminder of what happened last season. For the women's lead, the overall title was won by Woon-Shun Shin, who started things off with a gold medal here, so one to watch. Her teammate Lee Young-gyun also won the overall and a gold medal, so 2 athletes for the home crowd to cheer for. So that's the lead, but of course there are 2 events here, speed as well. Last year, the Czech Republic's Aneta Loučecká won her first ever gold medal, and that started off a run that saw her win the overall title and World Championships. For the men's speed, Iran's Safradan Mohamed Reza won here. He's registered again, so can he make it the double? But of course, a new season means a fresh start for everyone, and the athletes have been training hard during the off-season, hours of blood, sweat and tears in the gym for just a few minutes of action on the wall. It's going to be intense. Well, intense is certainly the word, because it's almost time to get cracking on this new season. My name is Matt Groom. You saw me in that VT just then, but what you didn't see is my co-commentator, Pete. So good evening, sir. How are you doing?
Hi, Matt. Very well. And you?
Yes, I'm good. It's been a chilly day, let's be honest.
It has. Well, it started quite cold. We athletes start around 5 a.m. We need to get up. It's pretty much an alpine start. And then we come here, we watch the routes, and we analyze them with the videos they sent us, and we try to manage the best we can until we start and we climb.
You are doing a fantastic job, and we're about to see the start list for the men here. These are the athletes who have qualified into tonight's final. They first of all did lead qualification, then they did speed practice, then speed qualification, had a few minutes breather, and now they're back for the finals. 16 athletes getting through to this stage. Mongolia featuring heavily, as you can see, but Team Korea out in force as well, and the home crowd will be cheering those athletes on in a minute. Of course, we have men and women. We'll see that in a little bit, but we're having now a look at the women who are waiting. And Pete, you were talking about the cold. Once that sun left the mountains, it got freezing out there.
Yeah, it really did. Like when we were cheering for the other athletes during the sun behind the structure, it was quite comfortable. We even removed our jackets, but after the sunset, it just got so cold. Like everybody with their puffies and over jackets, and we finished their practice rounds, and it's just put back your boots and get inside.
Exactly. Well, looking at the women's finalists there, it's a big name. You can see Annetta there with the legendary pink bobble and stickers on her hat. She's the world champion, but she's got some tough competition. And in fact, she's very sick as well here today, so she's really up against it.
I heard that she was mentioning when she came back from lead how well she did despite having a cold. So it's a lot of athletes, we suffer the jet lag, and you have your own medical issues or illnesses that you need to manage the best you can before a competition.
Exactly. Well, I'm going to stop you there because we're about to get cracking here. We've got Nyamadu on the left-hand side of your screen, Kim Hee-jun on the right. First race, but it's not really a race. It's all about the time. So the athletes climb from the bottom to the top. They get 2 runs. They switch lanes, and then the times are combined, and the fastest athlete will move on. But we can see here Nyamadu really consistent, whereas on the right we've already seen a fall from the Korean athletes.
Yeah, they're very strong, and of course they have this amazing place to train. But the ice is very unforgiving. If you make a mistake, or you place your tool on properly, or you don't swing correctly, or your feet blew off, that's it for you. That's what had happened to many people, no matter the level, or if you were a gold medalist last year. It's never a sure shot. It's always everyone is the same. And we have a new starting system.
Yes, I'm glad you said that because we should explain it. There are no full starts anymore. What happens instead is the athletes can go whenever there is a 1, 2, 3. And we're seeing another run here from Kim. But you'll hear the starter go. They'll have 3 seconds to get off the pad, and the athletes themselves start that timing. So here we go again. And this is Kim going again here. So powering her way up on the right side of the wall. Oh, there we go. Let's watch a replay of this again. Because we had that fall, as Pete was saying, from Kim, she gets knocked out, and Nyamadu climbs by herself, so sets this time. And she won't really care too much about getting a fast time at this point.
Yeah, it's the beauty of it is that you have 3 seconds when they say go to start. Mm-hmm. So the time is not against the other one, it's against yourself. So you can arrive later to the top and be still faster than your contender.
Okay, well, next race is underway here as the athletes go up. Powerful stuff from both climbers here. And look at that on the left. And I think we got a... So that is a seed on the left, stopping the clocks with the green light. And Vivian Labriel on the right-hand side in the pink from Switzerland. Not a bad run from both. As you said, just being a little bit careful down low. But Asidi there really climbing nice and quick through the top of the wall. Asidi Shanab coming down. So the athletes will now swap sides and go again. So they're ready. One pick in the wall. The second will join it in a sec. 1 foot buried deep in the ice. One on the starting pad. Asidi there taking a little bit longer, a little more time to get settled, the Iranian athlete on the right-hand side. So, here we go. And this time, again, Asidi much, much faster off the line. Vivian Labriel has work to do here, but she's really going to have to dig deep in the middle half if she can do it.
Well, when I was on ice, the viewers' left wall was more tricky, more technical than the right hand. So it depends on your technique, climbing technique, your speed, your strength, and your mood. Sometimes it's just a tiny kick that will set you off or will make you win.
Yeah, and we're watching here. Vivian found some speed in the top half of the wall, but disappointment, she shakes her head there. So next up, we have Cha Yu-jin from Korea versus Kim Jae-young from Korea. So the two teammates up against each other in the all black.
I think that's it's hard on the viewers. Like, who do you cheer for?
Well,
unless you're related or you're friends with one, it's like,
Yeah, it's hard with teammates, isn't it? And you're right about the crowd. There will be splits, but Cha will top out first of all. 16.40 is her time. And Kim after that with a slightly slower 20.054. Do remember, this is not a race like you might be used to seeing. This is all about time, and therefore it's not all over after this first race. And we can see that.
yeah, but also the beauty of competitive ice climbing is that everybody cheers for everybody. Like, you meet people, it's like a giant family, a summer camp that you go every year, and everybody's so happy to see you.
Absolutely, yeah. And then we can see the time. So a 16.40 versus a 20.05. So Cha has work to do here. If she's going to, Kim has work to do here. And she was slow off the line immediately as well, slipping all over the place. Those feet sliding around on the ice. Cha keeping it nice and steady as she works her through the top half of the route here. Should stop the clock with a good time, and does. 13.766 for her.
Yeah, when we were talking with the male category, we're talking with the new speed climbers, and they were asking for advice. And one that Sam Sarah gave me many competitions ago is don't fall. Doesn't matter what it takes, just don't fall. And David Farr was telling the Spanish team, like, slow is fast. Like, the faster you go, the more chances you have to fall. So if you go slow and steady, you have more chances to get a good result, instead of just trying to run up where you can make a mistake. You can place your tool or your Fifi in this case, in a bad hole that will blow, or you can kick improperly or make a mistake that will cost you falling, and that's it, you're out.
I think there's some wisdom to that, but we have some really fast competitors here.
Oh yeah, we have Mohamed Reza, David Buffard, we have Sam Sarah, we have Dennis.
And this lady here, Olga Kosek, who is waiting, she's up next. She could be one to take a gold medal here tonight, and I'm liking her. I think it was a panda helmet that she's got going on there.
I don't know. Right now, we all have our personalized helmets. So mine has a bear with an X-axis, like a pirate flag.
I like that.
Of course, you have Aneta with her pom-pom. Then I think, that's the one with the panda. Then some others put... Lauren from the US team has a custom color on her helmet. So sometimes it's the way to identify yourself on a video when you're competing.
Yes, exactly that. A bit of personalization. Now, we've got a few seconds pause here because we had a technical incident. I think it's been sorted out, which is good. Oh, no, now we're going again then, I guess. So I think the technical incident was to do with that previous race, possibly. We're not in the know right now, but we'll let you know if we can. But whatever, they're running again, so we'll figure it out as we go. Well, exactly, why not? And we have a slip already. Yeah, so it was a rerun of Heat 3 because of the technical incident there. Not sure what the technical incident was, but I think it's the whole heat. But of course, that will be a knocked out over there. So that means that Cha Yujin will climb by herself again, we think, after Kim leaves. And let's look at a replay of that again. Powering up through the top, slapping that last pad, stopping the green clock, head back in relief, I think, more than anything else in that moment.
Just hit it out of anger. Like, I'm just tired of this. I'm going to punch somebody, and you just hit that. Wow.
I think we're getting an insight into Pete's technique here, but fair enough. Right, Olga Kosek on the left-hand side from Poland, and Bajrama on the right-hand side from Mongolia. The Mongolian athlete's very strong, but so is Olga Kosek, but a big slip down low. I mean, she has got to keep going, and she's going for that slow and steady approach that you mentioned before. That technique, left, right, making a way, but a big slip for Olga Kosek, right at the very top of the run.
Yeah, it's what I was mentioning. If you go slow and steady, that could be faster because it's consistent speed. If you try to go fast and you make a mistake, it will cost you a lot, especially when you kick and you're swinging. So that's it.
And I often find with speed climbing, there is such an element of luck to it. You know, you've got to put lots of runs together quickly, but also you just have to pray to the ice gods that you don't fall off the thing.
Oh yeah, that's what happened to me on my first run. I tried to go fast, and I placed my Fifi on an indentation, and it blew, and I just landed on the ground.
Well, Batjagal will go again here by herself. There's the spade placed over the starting pad. I think that's to protect it from falling ice so it doesn't set itself off. And this is less clean from her. And I think what can happen sometimes is when you know it's less important, you kind of make mistakes because you get into your own head a little bit. And I think she's really struggling with this.
There are certain areas on the ice that the holes or the picked outs were kind of one staggered, and you tend to go, and you're not supposed to cross your tools because you can slash your arms. So I understand her struggle. Like sometimes you see it and it's just above you and you're like, oh, I cannot grab that one or I can hurt myself.
Absolutely. Well, next race is about to get underway. That's some of the Korean team there watching, wrapped up warm against the cold. And our next race is an important one. Aneta Luchetska, the world champion on the left-hand side, but up against Caitlin Connor, who pushed her hard last year in speed. And remember, Aneta struggling with some sickness here and also a pretty nasty eye injury before this competition started. So off she goes, underway, and she's got this technique that she's honed in for years. And Caitlin Connor struggling to keep up at the moment. Aneta just needs to keep it together for this run, and she's going to walk away with this first heat. She's approaching the dangerous bit of ice. Does slip. Can she keep it together? She does.
Yeah, it's what we were mentioning. Like sometimes you're in a rhythm and one hold is definitive to you.
The top left of that route is really starting to suffer already, I think. It's a really challenging place.
And it's something that until you do speed climbing, you understand. It's just because people have gone through it doesn't mean that it's easier. Sometimes it's harder. Sometimes certain sections become easier, but others harder. So we'll see this if she changes her technique.
Yeah, so Caitlin needs to find something big here. That time was fairly slow from her. So let's keep an eye on those. And Aneta there, again, really nice and steady through the middle section of the route. That technique that she has side to side. She's nearing the top now. Let's see if she can just hook the edge and reaches all the way up off a quite dodgy right hook. And keep an eye on Caitlin as well, battling super hard. She's approaching the tricky section of this route now. She'll want to put something nice together, but she has been knocked out of this now. Oh, the big slip.
So close. Nice.
Okay. Well, we can breathe now.
That's what I was mentioning. Like, you get into a rhythm, and then the conditions of the ice change, and you don't know what to do. And you're like, well, let's hope for the best. And depending on your Fifis, your speed ice tools, you have different ice perches. So for some work, for others don't.
Absolutely. Well, next up is Lorena Beck, who is on the right-hand side of your screen, and Polina on the left-hand side from Kazakhstan. So here we go, and it's a good start from both athletes, actually neck and neck at the opening section of this. And now slightly pulling ahead is Polina on the left, but look at Lorena Beck coming back at her on the right. Can Lorena find something at the top? This is going to be an exciting finish, and she does get a faster time.
Yeah. Oh, she fell.
Oh, yes, you're right. The clock carries on ticking. So Polina knocked out after a fall really near the top.
Oh, that's so painful. It devastates you emotionally because you're almost there. And it's like when you're about to get something and it's like, and that's it. And there's no like, and you see the pad just going away as you lower, like, I don't want to leave again.
I love that. Devastate you emotionally. Pete bringing the fantastic words to the commentary box. Well, Lorena Beck will run by herself. The Polina was knocked out here, and Lorena will go slow and steady through this run. Left and right, hooking nicely into the ice here.
Yeah, there's a 1 minute or 60 seconds stop that you can take to reach the pad. And in these scenarios, it's also strategy. Like if your contender fell, you can just take it easy and you qualified for the next one because many have fallen.
Yeah. And I want to say about taking it easy because these Fifis, and you said this word earlier, and it's a weird word, but it basically describes the ice axe themselves, right?
Yeah.
So it's called a Fifi, and they are razor sharp, those things.
Oh, yeah, it's every time before we're going to start is you spend, when the girls are warming up, we spend all the time sharpening the crampons, sharpening the fifis, and there's PPE that people are experimenting to protect your thighs, your forearms, and your hands, because they will slash you.
We'll see a few of those later on. Next race underway. Catalina Shirley from the USA on the left. I was about to say she's one of the favourites. She slipped, but then at the same time, so did Amina Janbotta on the right-hand side. So now Catalina Shirley is pulling away. And yes, one of the favourites should move, certainly in the first round through. A good time of 14.897 as well. Amina there making some pretty heavy work at the top of the route.
Yeah.
And falls 30 seconds. It carries on ticking. Another high fall.
Oh, that's so hard. Like sometimes I want to cry with them. Like, come on, let's go behind the structure and cry together. I know the feelings. It's so devastating.
That sounds very sweet. There'll be a crying session later on. I'll come and join you. How about that? Well, Catalina will climb by herself. Got a feel from Janbotta, though, knocked out. Now, Catalina needs just to keep this together. You can see thick gloves wrapped around a very thin handle on those fifis. It's completely different from an ice axe you'll see tomorrow in the semi-finals and finals. Big slip early on from Catalina. And obviously taking the pace off her run here. Time is not important. She just needs to finish nice and cleanly. And you can start to see some of the ice starting to pull through a little bit.
Yeah. And also you can see how, because they're blocks of ice staggered together. So people try to place the fifi on the cracks between the joints of the blocks, because that way will land on top of one and you will have better ice purchase instead of trying to go on the block itself or the face of the block.
Yes, remember, this is a changing, ever-evolving route, this ice. So every single run is different. And that amazes me, because you've got to have a lot of concentration between the rounds as well. But here we go, underway. Lee Suk-hee versus Limbach Angelina. So Angelina Limbach on the right-hand side, I think. I hope. Let me just check that. Yes, right-hand side. And she is coming really, really close to Lee Suk-hee here. But Suk-hee Lee will take it and a double slap just for style points.
Just to make sure.
Seems like a good time for the women is round about 14 to 15 seconds at the moment. But a 17 seconds on the right-hand side from Angelina Limbach means she is in touch.
Yeah, well, it depends what happens on the next hit. If Lee falls, Angela is going to move on. So that's where the strategy comes. Like, you want to push it and get a better time and move on, or you want to take it safe, hoping that the other person falls.
Well, final heat here is underway, and I said she had work to do, but it's not the best start for Angelina Limbach, and she's still struggling, which means Lee should walk away with this if she can keep it together. It's a slower time, but she won't really care about that. And almost a big fall on the left-hand side. Look at this, slipping down, losing a fifi in the ice.
Come on.
What a recovery.
Oh, that's insane.
Oh, that fifi buried deep. She had two hands on one tool there. And I don't really care about the time. That was a spectacular piece of climbing from Angelina.
For that.
I agree with you. Well, just like that, the first round for the women is done. It says it all there. Let's see a replay of this. Hopefully we can see this ice axe incident. There was a real slips down low as well. And let's see, hopefully our camera team have found this moment, because, oh no, we haven't quite got it, but it was very cool in the middle of that. That was Lee. So, end of round one for the women. You can see the leaderboard over on the left. That'll all become clear later on. We move on to the men straight away. Mosen is on the left of your screen. Jeon Huk Lee on the right. And what a change in pace suddenly.
Really fast one.
Wow, 6.805 versus a 8.022. The men, look at that different style.
It's Mosen just trains for speed. That's his thing. He doesn't do like many of us, to both categories, lead and speed. He just does speed. That's his training. That's why he's so good at that.
Yes, it's interesting you bring that up, actually, because a lot of I think we used to, on the IFSC circuits, for example, getting speed specialists and lead and boulder, whereas a lot of these athletes are doing both, unless we have a couple of specialists, like you say. So they'll swap sides, and you can see some of that PPE, protective equipment used, especially over the face mask there of Jeon Hukli Jae. And hello to everyone on YouTube, by the way. We do have a live chat, so hello to Masha and Jan Havel. And again, the specialist speeding away. Mohsin will take this unless he slips. He managed to save it.
See, that's why I mean, like, you can be super fast, and one tiny thing that it's out of your control, the ice breaks or your tool doesn't place properly, and that's it for you. And well, you mentioned PPE. Like, a lot of people are starting to climb with protective eyewear, like protective glasses or goggles, because there, as you go up, there's a lot of ice coming towards your face, and if you miss with the Fifi, you can hit yourself, and that wouldn't be a good ending.
No, it would not be a good ending. We don't want to see it.
My country fellow, David Buffard.
He got hit. Oh, yeah, on screen. Yes, I'm with you. So from Canada, underway. Green helmet, and we have a big slip on the right from Florian Gantner, who is out of this competition straight away. And your teammate will progress as long as he keeps it together.
Go. Yes.
So tell me a little bit about David now as a teammate, as a person.
Oh, he's French Canadian. So he has all the French Canadian appeal. I have climbed with him in Festiglas, another competition in Quebec. And yeah, when I met him, he looked like a pirate. He had this mustache like Colonel Sanders from PFK. And yeah, he's a very good guy.
Yes, he is. Well, he's underway on his second heat here after Florian Gantner was knocked out.
He's going slow and like very confident, like not pushing it, because he knows that he's going to move on if he doesn't fall. So that's where your strategy comes in place. So he doesn't want to risk it and take a fall and be out. So now he just move on.
Yeah, slow and steady does win the way in that situation. So next up, we'll have USA versus Korea as we just watch these final replays of this race. You can see the ice starting to develop, those holes that we're used to, but the quality of ice this year much better from last year, but it was a bit warm.
Yeah, I was not here last year. I was competed on ice in Edmonton last year, and that ice was awful.
Yes, it was rotten ice, wasn't it, really? Not to do with the organisers, just want to say. It was more to do with the weather conditions. Yeah. Okay, next up, Samuel Serra on the left-hand side of your screen is up against Yangpo Jun on the right from Korea. And it is a fast one from Samuel Serra, who is powering up, but big slips opens the door for Yun here. Can Yun find something? He's going to, you know. What a comeback from Yun.
That's so bad for Sam.
Whew. Sam had that in the bag, and that big slip in the middle. We'll see it in a second. Watch those legs. They skate. It was a pause, then that slip. He managed to recover, but it just opened the door.
It's just the feet. Like, you need to kick and push at the same time, so it's not a natural or natural way to move up. It's not like running that you just bring up, push down, and there you go.
Yeah.
With this one, you need to bring your foot up, kick, but not too hard, because you will lose time. So it's just quite tricky to do it.
All right, well, here we go. Wait for starting orders. And again, Samuel Serra explodes off the blocks. But again, he has a pause. Can he keep it together on the right? This is a fast time. If he can keep going, watch the clock.
Oh, yeah.
And an 8.818. We'll have to see if that is enough time to be made up, though, because he was behind.
Yeah. But see how he starts very fast and then kind of makes little mistakes, and he corrects his speed and then keeps going. So
yeah, we're going to have to wait and see exactly who's walked away with that one. The judges will direct people.
The US team.
There they are, yeah.
All bundle up.
Everyone bundle up. Okay, so next race, Safridan Mohamed Reza versus Jan-Paul Models-Lewinsky, if I can say that correctly. And look at this, the gold medalist from last year. I said he was returning to fight again, and look at that.
Oh, he was faster than Mohsin.
Yes, he was. That was a very, very fast time from him then. I think, as you said, the fastest of the evening, I think, so far.
Yeah, I think so. Mawson was 6.8.
Yeah, so a 6 second. Now imagine that, everyone. 6 seconds to run to the top of this wall on ice. Just want to remind everyone, ice climbing with deadly weapons in your hand is a lot.
And your feet.
And your feet, exactly. So a 6.76 versus a 10 means there's about 3 or 4 seconds to make up there. It's going to be a pretty tough one for Jan to try to come back from the Czech Republic, powering his way up though, giving it a really good go. And look at this technique, it is good from him, and he's sliding all over the place. He's far ahead. No, he's not, slipping down, and that will be Saf Darian walking away with that one. That was a good effort though.
Yeah, they have a very good program. Like I have seen in their Instagram, their wall in Iran, it's a specific facility for speed ice. Like they're super dedicated. And the only way to get good at this is by doing it many, many times. And it's repetition and getting confident on your moves. And you need to sometimes do a little flick with your fifi, not like a swing with an ice axe on ice. It's a little flick so it gets enough purchase.
Okay, well, next up, Minchol Kim on the right-hand side, number 8. Otigamaya on the left-hand side. And that was the little pause in time, remember. They don't have to start the second the judge says go. They can pause and wait. It's only about time and stopping the clock at 8.755. He was a little... See, that was the pause I was talking about. He just waited, and that is fine with the new rules. It's all about the clock.
Yeah, the new rules makes things easier and faster because you don't have false starts. If there's a false start, everybody comes down and start again. And you have used to have up to 2 false starts before you were disqualified. So that took a lot of time in the event and for the climbers. So this system so far has worked, and it's quite convenient because you're racing against yourself and not against the other. So you don't care that much about the other person if they're ahead of you. If you have 3 seconds to start when they say go. So they can be 2 seconds ahead and you can still beat them.
Yeah, it's a new rule, and you are right. You just got to remember, if you're watching, it's not a straight race, but don't worry, we'll keep reminding you of that. So Mongolian athlete with a big slip really opens the door for Kim, who needed a good run. He was behind, and a 7.906. We're going to have to wait and see on that one. It's going to be very close between these two athletes, and a 10.316 for the Mongolian climber, way down on his first run. Wow, what a comeback there, back and forth. Really interesting stuff. We'll have to wait and see from the judges who's going to win it. And I think over on the left, I'm trying to fiddle the scores here. So we've got, so 6th for the Mongolian athlete, and then Kim up in 3rd, so he does beat him. All right, so next round, as we get underway here, Jonathan Brown, who is one to watch in the lead competition as well. Andreas Gantner on the right-hand side. And Jonathan Arthur Brown will take that quite nicely with a big jump at the top. Yeah.
He's very strong. Like I saw him in Brno competing. He won first place in the Continental over there. And he's strong. Like I think he was the only one to top out.
Yeah, he's one to keep an eye on. We talked a lot about him last year, that he might, take the overall title. It wasn't to be last year, but he's coming for it this year. So watch him. And we've done multiple interviews, in fact, with our Thin Ice documentary series, which is free to watch on YouTube. It's a fantastic series. It explores athletes like Jonathan Arthur Brown's story. So you can really get to know the people that we're talking about. So go check that out, please, if you haven't already, on the UIAA YouTube channel. Okay, next race here underway. Kylian Namadou versus a gentleman's name I always struggle to pronounce him.
They're on the other heat. And John Brown just...
Oh, sorry, I'm being so silly. You are right, and Jonathan fell, so after all that...
Oh, that's so sad. Like, that happened to me on my first run. I fell at the beginning, something broke, and I just went for a ride. I mean, we're just like, okay, don't talk to me, I'm going to the restrooms to cry.
I did see your fall, actually, because I was I've thought to myself, well, that means he's coming to commentate for me.
That's why I thought, like, well, at least I have a job after this.
Absolutely, you do. Well, thank you for joining me here today, Pete. And if you are just joining us, we're on the first day of the Cheongsong Ice Climbing World Cup. And this is a pretty special competition here. Lead will take place tomorrow for the semi-finals and finals. Speed here tonight. The athletes have been working hard all day qualifying for the lead and qualifying for the speed. So here we do. Nyamadu on the left-hand side. Mandy Kandabar on the right. And look at the speed from Kerlin Nyamadu. Stopping the clock, waiting.
Oh, that's even faster. 6.132.
I like the fact he waited for his teammate at the top as well.
I don't know if that's putting some salt over the engine.
No, I think he was aboard, and surely teammates are going to be nice, aren't they? Are you starting an inter-team war here? This is dangerous stuff, Pete.
No, I don't know. Like, I don't know. We have language barriers, so I know I joke about that with other team members, but it's different. Like, I will wait to cheer and make a big scene out of that, but that's me.
But you started a war. You can't pull away from this now, okay? Yeah. We've got an inter-team rivalry.
We'll see.
Right, we swap over heats. So Kerlin will be on the left-hand side. Right-hand side. Mandy Kamba on the left-hand side. So here we go, underway. And it's so fast, and a big slip of the catch, though, and a slip. This is going to be a really close race. Mandy Kamba might take this in terms of time, but no, maybe I'm wrong. He just about. What a messy one that was. Glasses falling off as well. Don't want to land on them. It's all go. What a race. So we'll wait for the final times, but it was 7 seconds versus 6, and it's 2.7 seconds for Mandy Kamba. Very consistent there. And Kerlin slower on that second run with an 8 compared to a 6. Wow, exciting stuff as we come to the final men's heat here. And the athletes getting themselves ready before we will switch back to the women's for the next round. Munk Habata, number 65, over on the left of your screen. And then Do-hyun Park on the right. And this man, known to be a bit of a star in Korea, will want to put his first finals of the competition here underway. Hello to Theo online, who's saying those hooks are tiny. Yes, Theo, you are correct. Tiny, slippery, cold, terrifying. Oh, now, bit of a technical incident maybe. They look back, but now they're underway, and a big slip of the timing pad there as well.
I don't like those pads. Like, I either feel that they're going to get stuck to my crampons, or I'm going to sleep.
Okay, well, 10 seconds and 11 seconds. Slower rounds for both these athletes. Climbing with a mask on as well there on the left. I think he took it off for the race itself, but perhaps dealing with some sickness, which might be worth.
Well, there's, being in Korea in Seoul before coming here, there were a lot of people wearing masks. It seems that there's a flu going around.
Yes.
So it's quite common to see people wearing a mask.
There is a flu. One of my colleagues who is sitting far too close for my liking is suffering with it on my right, and a lot of the athletes are struggling with colds and flus, so it's a bit of a tough start to the season for some of them. I'm fine. I just want to say I'm okay. I'm guzzling vitamin C.
Lately, I don't care if I get sick. Like, I'm sick. That's it. Let's move on.
Don't breathe on me. All right, next up, as we swap over lanes once more. And again, some slips down low, but athletes struggling both on the ground and on the wall. Look at this on the right-hand side from Monique Park. But Do-hyun Park walks away with a faster time in that round of a 9.265.
That's what we were mentioning, the ice changes. So if you had a fast run on your qualifier, doesn't mean that you're going to have a fast run on your semifinals or anything like that. It's changing, and probably the person before you take that good hold out, so now you don't have anything to work on.
Yes, it's kind of a totally fresh start every single heat, isn't it? And as you said, because the route changes so much, you have to adapt to what you're given in front of you.
And it's super fast because you're pushing and you need to either trust where you're going to swing or place your tool, or just go for what you see. Like, sometimes you see something, and that's what happened to me. You see something little and think that, oh, I can grab that. You place your Fifi there and it blows, and that's it for you.
Well, we pan down the giant lead wall that will be in action tomorrow, past those ice barrels suspended from the ceiling, down past some hidden holds, because we don't want to give away too much to our athletes, and down to the beginning of this speed wall. And this facility, it's a pretty special place to go climbing, isn't it? Very tall as well.
It's amazing. Like, it's my first year here, and I'm like so in love with everything. I already told my wife we need to come just to climb. Like, it's going to be an interesting trip, but it's all the organization, all the Korean people, they're so invested in this.
Yeah.
Like, it's not just somebody putting a home wall. It's something thought, and they pick us up from Seoul and they drive us here, and they have so many resources for us that it's just an amazing time for everybody.
Absolutely.
If you win, not, or even if you fall on your first move, that's it. You had a good time.
Yes, it is a fun place to come climbing, and the women are waiting over on the left-hand side, wrapped up warm. Volunteers are just clearing the stage. You can see a lot of ice comes onto the stage. You can see on the bottom left, UIAA_ice climbing. That is our Instagram channel. There's some wonderful photos up there. And as I mentioned, teasers from the On Thin Ice documentary, which is the story of last year. Think Drive to Survive with deadly weapons. I'm just going to keep saying deadly weapons.
Well, I don't care. Like, they are deadly weapons.
They are, mate. They are.
It's I always remove the pics of my fifis to store them for travels, because I know that if I can reach inside, I'm going to puncture myself. Even when I flew in from Canada, I put a sign in Korean and in English that in my pack there were very sharp objects.
Really?
Yeah, be careful.
I would not do that.
Like, because they're your crampons.
Are you not worried someone's going to confiscate? I would confiscate your bag if I saw that.
I will kill you.
Well, yes,
I will
but
die for my climbing gear.
Okay, well, next round, we'll discuss this later. Sandy versus Nyamadu. Sandy on the left-hand side of your screen, Nyamadu on the... Nyamadu on the left, Sandy on the right, and Nyamadu doing really well here to keep this together. Stops the clock around about 11.756 seconds. Women a little bit slow, but as we said, 14 seconds was a good time. She's just got a sub 12.
Yeah. So conditions change. And sometimes it's your weight, your arm's length, your type of fifis, your type of crampons. And there are different techniques. She's more like a frogging up or lizarding up. There's the Russian technique that is just kick little as you go. So you don't need to synchronize with your arms, or they do whatever you can technique.
That would be my technique. Scrabble your way up.
Yeah, it's like we say, like, as long as you don't fall and you do it in less than 1 minute, you're gold.
All right, well, second heat of this run here. And we are underway here. Nyamadu on the right-hand side. Slow and steady again. It's one of those techniques, but she is making progress now as we hit the middle mark of the wall. Sandy a little bit slower on this round, maybe getting fatigued here. What can she do in terms of her time? Very close times.
Yeah.
I tell you what, different techniques almost got the same result, and it's so fascinating.
It's what works for you. You work with what you have. Like, in my case, I'm a heavy climber, so I need to have long moves, or otherwise I kick myself out of the wall. Some others that are slimmer, shorter, they can do different moves and different techniques to go up. So it's what works for you. There's no magic recipe that, okay, if you climb this way, you're going to be the best. No.
Absolutely. Well, next round is already underway here. Samuel, who are we at? We got Yoongjung Cha on the left of your screen. Biarma Bajgal on the right-hand side. Well, hang on.
I don't know what happened.
Yeah, I think we might have a technical incident here because we've got no clocks running on the left and one running on the right. So I think we'll probably reset for that one. Something certainly went wrong with that. So I'll have to wait and see.
But something to consider on this is, even though it doesn't look that strenuous, it's super hard. Like, it's a sprint, If you're blinking, you miss it. So you just need to go very fast, 100%, and then you go again.
Yeah.
And if you have a technical like this, it's like, well, all the effort goes to waste, and do it again.
It's pretty tough, isn't it, though? When you get a technical, you've got to run it again, as you said. Not much time to recover, but we will go almost immediately here. Both athletes underway, and remember, they don't have to start at the same time. It's all about the clock. It's not a straight race. And it is going to be the athlete on the left-hand side, stopping the clock on 14 seconds.
I don't know if you, sorry.
Okay.
You notice that she double hit the pad just to make sure.
Just to make sure, yeah.
Like, you stop now.
Yeah, a double pad stop there. All right, well, some slips all around there as we try to figure things out here. Sometimes ice climbing is unpredictable. So second round of this underway after that technical incident. We got a rerun here on the right-hand side, doing much better. Again is Cha, but this time she slows just a little bit. Oh, and we have a final slip on the left.
Oh, see? And she did, again, the double tap. I don't, something that probably people on the internet have seen and might wonder what it is. You see two red stripes on each rule.
Mm-hmm. Good point.
This is because of the rules. So before you were allowed to put your ice axe anywhere as long as there was ice. The rules for climbing, it's you cannot put your tool, either Fifi or your competitive dry tooling tool, outside it.
All right, next round, Aneta Luchecka on the left-hand side versus Lorena Beck on the right. This is going to be a close race. These two have raced each other on numerous occasions. Aneta's going to have to pull everything out here. Can she do it? She's certainly approaching it near the top. Stops the clock around about 9 seconds. 0.52. That was fast. Lorena Beck falls as well.
I think she has, Neta has been the fastest female so far.
It was, yes. And Aneta will get to run again. She progresses to the next round. Aneta actually, I spoke to her just before we start, and she said, if I'm sick, literally sick, please talk about anything else. So I've ruined that one, but I just want to point out the level of sickness that she's competing against here. Unreal. Well, she'll run by herself here.
Yeah. She's very invested and passionate about it. That's something that you see on climbers here. It's the passion that we have for the sport.
Yeah, she's certainly very, very stubborn. So let's see what she can do here. She'll keep it nice and easy. Just wants to find these hooks throughout the run. Save some energy as well for later on. You don't want to burn out. Almost slipping here. She gets the top. Oh, that right foot with a big skip. Taps the pad very gingerly and makes sure it stops.
Well, we can say that stubborn is also dedicated. Or committed.
Committed is a good way, yeah. Knowing Aneta a little bit, I would definitely say stubborn, though, is in the equation. Let's see this again. Taps the final pad. And Lorena Beck, you got to feel for her, though. Knocked out with a slip.
Yeah, that's so bad. It's so heartbreaking.
It is indeed.
Even if you're against them or racing against them.
Yeah, you just don't want to see it, do you? Yeah.
Like, I won, but it doesn't feel the same.
I absolutely agree with you. We just want to see everyone go into the very end. And I tell you, we're on tenterhooks here in the commentary box. Right, Catalina Shirley on the left-hand side versus Suki Lee on the right. And Suki is doing a little bit better as we near the halfway point here. Oh, but no, that right Fifi got stuck, which means Catalina will take this one in terms of time. Let's wait and see. And it is going to be much slower for Suki Lee, who I think really struggled to wrestle that ice axe out.
Yeah, it's what we were mentioning. It's the quality of the ice. Sometimes you get a good ice purchase, enough to move on. Sometimes it's too much, or sometimes it's not enough and it breaks. So sometimes it's luck or luck numbers or whatever. You pray to any god you hear.
Just pray to them all. We might as well.
Yeah, or bring your own Amulet.
Yes, fair enough. All right, so Catalina swaps sides, and we will go again after that tight race. They're underway here. And let's see what happens on this run. And it's a big slip again over on the left-hand side for Soki Lee, who falls. And let's wait for the times to be confirmed. But I think Catalina Shirley will take that one.
That's good for her. It's very, well, for people on the internet and watching at home, it's falling is when you come off the wall. You can drag your Fifi all the way down and start all over, but you haven't fallen officially.
Like that, for example.
And there's a lot of people that your feet blow off, you are on one Fifi, and you hold to it, and you're still going, and you can beat the other person.
Well, top four there, results on the left-hand side, we're pretty sure are accurate on the left. So top four should be the ones moving forward from this round. And we'll swap over to the men's side of the competition here. Mosen is fast, as we'd expect, but he's up against David Buffard, your teammate.
Come on, David.
It's going to be a close one, but Mosen does run away with that one. Mosen wearing some pretty lightweight Petzl gear there from head to toe. David with a slightly more old-school helmet, I would say.
Well, or traditional.
Traditional, I like
Classic.
that. I like that. Heavier is what I'm implying.
Well, the thing is, what works for you?
Yes, absolutely.
The very light helmets could be uncomfortable for you when you look up, and some people complain about the strap.
True, it would move around, you think, a little bit more.
It depends what works for you.
All right, well, David, forget the heavy helmet. I'm sure it's not heavy, by the way. I'm just joking, but he is underway, whatever. But he is going to be slower. Mosen, though, will be worried about slips as he approaches the top of the wall. He has taken some of the pace off it, stopping the clock sensibly around about 7 seconds.
Oh, I'm saddened for David, but we'll see how the numbers work for him or not.
Yeah, so David will be knocked out of this round. YouTube, you've gone a bit quiet on me. Can you just hammer the heart button if you're watching? Let us know if you're enjoying the competition. Myself and Pete here in the commentary box would love to hear from you. I know Jan Havel, if you're listening, you're likely to chime in here. He seems to be at every competition I do that, man, on the internet. Right, swapping over to the next round. Samuel Serra, who was fast in the opening heat of this competition, will be up against a very fast man as well as Safradan Mohamed Reza, who is the gold medalist from last year on the right. Oh, look at this. This is going to be a blistering one. Sam Serra, though, has had a few slips. He's slipped throughout this competition. And that's fast there from Safradan. Much faster.
Well, 1 second. But this is how fast it is. Sometimes you barely have time to think what you're doing and just throw your fifis anywhere, hoping that they land on something.
The difference was all in the feet for me there. You can see every placement he made was in, and every other placement that Sam Serra made was out, and that made a big difference in terms of push-up. Well, that's a good close-up of the Fifis buried in the ice wall. We swap sides. We go again in this second heat. Safradan, eyes fixed on the top. Samuel as well now. So, underway. Fast pace from these two.
Oh, yeah.
And Samuel Serra knocked out, we think, and certainly in terms of time. But not by much. As you said, there's only a couple of seconds in that one.
Yeah, well, it depends the time of the others as well.
Oh, thank you, by the way, for the hearts on YouTube. Loving that. The hearts float up our screen and make me smile. And, I like to smile. We need a smile.
We like smiling.
Yeah, we like a smile. So thank you very much, YouTube. Appreciate it.
Actually, the US team is smiling.
They are they? Some are. Now they are. Now they're on camera, they're smiling. It is cold out there. We're in a warm commentary box here. Well, it's our final round. Are we on our final round? Yes. So Park Do-hyun versus Kellen Nyamadu. Oh, no, we're not. Sorry, Andreas Gantner, isn't it? Versus, I don't know where we're at, to be honest. I've lost all track of space and time here. Yes, Andreas Gantner versus Cheon Kim.
Oh, and he just dropped his Fifi.
Oh, disaster. At the very top, right?
Kim. Yeah. And we'll show on the repeat.
Yeah, we'll see a replay of that. I was looking down at that moment. Let's watch this. I want to see the drop Fifi. I missed it.
Yeah, you don't want to be below that. Actually, I don't know if you have noticed when they have open shot, there's one person not on the right-hand side, but on the left, with orange cap that actually controls the entry. And you cannot enter that area until the climber is at the bottom.
Now, this is this delayed start we were talking about because it's all about time. So although, and actually he's actually managed to catch up that time. What a powerful one. 8.890. Wow. Strong stuff. And he's back down with a smile on his face. Yes, so he delayed his start a little bit. There's the delay. Then sprung, took his own time. It's an interesting one, though, isn't it? Because you do end up catching up your opponent anyway.
Yeah.
But maybe he likes to chase something.
Well, I don't know. Maybe your technique, strategy, or maybe the adrenaline that kicks in. And some people perform better under stress.
That's but what happens if they both pause to let the other go so they can chase them? You know what I mean? We can have a standoff there. All right, Team Korea absolutely out in force in the black and white, which I'm rather jealous of those long down jackets. And this is now our final race of this round. Park Do-hyun on the right of your screen. Colin Namadou on the left. And these two teammates. Sorry, Mongolia versus Korea going head to head. And Park Do-hyun taking that one. In terms of time, a 7.764 versus an 8.118. Slapping that with some passion at the top there.
Well, while we were doing qualifiers, one person swung at the pad with the Fifi.
Oh, really?
Slapping it. So I don't know if they damaged it. It's the one on the climbers.
Did he get stuck in it?
No. Okay. Luckily, no.
Okay, that's good.
That will be like, oh, yeah.
Let's not say their name, whoever it was, in case they get a bill the next day. All right, well, here we go as we swap around. Final race for the men. And it is very fast from Yamadou, although Park is coming back again. Oh, and he falls. Park falls on the left after all of that speed on the previous round.
That's what we've been mentioning. Like, the ice changes all the time. So you could have a good placement, you move your Fifi correctly, or you don't synchronize the pull and the push, and that's it for you.
Park leaves, and that is going to be a real devastating one to swallow there as he goes off the stage. Oh, this is a brutal aspect of climbing, it really is. Well, that is it for the men's quarterfinal. We move on to the women's semi-final now, just 4 athletes remaining. And this is the last, well, put it like this, the previous race was the most stressful one, because now, whatever happens, they will go into some kind of a final.
Yeah.
Whether it's small final for bronze or fourth, or big final for silver or gold.
Well, I always, every time I compete on speed, I always said I'm going to do it like Brad Bradbury, Stephen Bradbury from Australia that won speed ice skating in Salt Lake in 2004, I think. It's just be there. Just by being there, you have more chances to win, and you never know. Like, everybody can fall. Doesn't matter how good you are at speed climbing. Anybody can fall. If you finish before them for whatever reason, you can move on and probably win. So it's a interesting discipline and comes with its perks and challenges.
Yeah, exactly. Well, Team Korea, that.
Yeah, I love those jackets. My wife calls them their sleeping bags. We saw them in Edmonton, and she's like, "Why don't you guys get one of those?" Like, well, I would love to. But yeah, they look so cozy and covering your legs, and so it's like, and we all have like short jackets, so our legs get cold, and we have puffy pants that we put on between climbs.
It's like receiving a hug, isn't it? A lovely warm hug out there in the cold night air of South Korea. Well, the women are waiting now. A little bit of a dance going on from some of them, waiting for. And I talk about pressure. Obviously, the pressure goes off a little bit because if you slip or fall off or something bad happens here, then they will get another chance to get a medal. But of course, they'll all want to get that gold at this stage, or silver at least.
Well, it also depends what you want. Like, if if you're hurting, you don't want to hurt yourself more. And like just by having...
Sorry, Pete, I'm going to have to stop you because we're watching some climbing gold here as Team USA bring the dance moves to the small and big screens. This has got to be rehearsed, surely.
That's warming up. I saw them warming up before speed like that.
That is the best dance I've seen on live TV, everyone. We need YouTube. Give us some love here for this, this dance. They should do that on stage.
Well, I'll talk to them.
You could go down and dance on stage for us, Pete.
You don't want me to dance.
I kind of do now.
My hips don't lie.
My hips don't move, so it's very different. Right, first of the semi-finals here. Celine Nyamadou up against... who are we up against? Eugene Cha here for the first round. Eugene on the right-hand side. Nyamadou over on the left of your screen. These women looking to book their place in the big final or small final, depending on how things go here. So underway, and it is a big driving start there from Cha Eugene, but look at the speed on the left from Nyamadou. Oh, but a huge slip. An 11.186, not a bad time considering that slip.
Your competitor...
Oh, actually fell, yes.
Yeah, so it's like...
I need 2 sets of eyes to do this job. I was too busy looking over on the left-hand side of the screen there. Yeah, it was a big slip. Let's see where it happened, if you missed it like me. Oh, yes, that was a big slip. YouTube, by the way, did respond. We got Jack Sarah from Colorado, who is enjoying the show. Cheers, Jack. And Arsen's accent, new to ice climbing. This looks amazing. Aaron, you just wait, my friend. You have a lot to see. Keep with us tomorrow. Semi-finals for lead and then the finals for lead through a spectacular 30-meter plus tall wall. Unbelievable stuff. This is speed. And our next heat, because of course we had a slip. Now I just want to confirm a rule. If Nyamadou slips here, we have a rerun of the competition. So it's pretty important the athletes don't fall off on this run.
That's why if you're on the first hit, your competitor falls, the next one, take it easy. Just make sure that you finish, that you don't fall. Doesn't matter the time as long as it's not more than 1 minute. And that's it. That's your strategy.
I think it's scarier watching an athlete trying not to fall off a speed wall than I am when I watch them race. I get nervous about this.
You get used to.
I'm not.
And well, when you're going up the wall, your adrenaline just pumps so fast.
Yeah.
You're like, I don't care. Let's go.
I'm going to take your word for it. I'll be terrified. Okay, our next semi-final over on the right-hand side, Catalina Shirley versus Aneta Luchetska. And it is interesting these two meet at this stage. They are close competitors here. Let's see who can do it. It's a fast start from both athletes. Aneta slightly ahead as we near up the middle of this. Oh, but a big slip from Aneta means she's going to have to really struggle here, and she does struggle. And it's 11 seconds versus a 10-second. Ooh.
That was keeping at the edge of our seats.
That really is. And that means Aneta's got to try to make up that 1 second in the next run. They will swap over, and this could be a really tight one. Aneta was far ahead until that big slip.
That's what we've been mentioning. Like, it's speed ice is so unforgiving. So it doesn't matter how strong you are. Like, things change just in a nanosecond.
Well, this is going to be a nail-biter of a second heat then as the athletes return to the ground and get underway. Aneta's going to have to give it absolutely everything here on the wall. Forget about, well, you don't want to fall. It doesn't matter if you fall off. You might as well just go. You've got to make up a second here. It's going to be such a close one. Can she do it? Stops the clock at 9.87. Catalina, 10.68.
That's a tight one.
That's so tight. I'm not sure Aneta's done enough on that run to make it through either.
To see what the judges come up.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see on that one. We don't get these absolute live results. It's hard to tell. A couple of slips along the way. It wasn't perfect.
No. But it's not that you're perfect. It's that you just finish faster than the other one.
Well, we'll have to wait and see. They're getting some confirmation down on the bottom. I'm not too sure of who's come where here, but we'll let you know in a minute. And let's see our next round for the men. As the men are underway, and it is...
Reza.
Yeah. Oh, and for the first time, we see Mohsin there having a bit of a pause.
Yeah. And Mohamed Reza did a very good time, 6.20.
Yeah, these two speed demons up against each other. Yeah, so this first round there underway and done in a blink of an eye. And then Safradan over on the left here as we swap over. Let's see who can take this. Mosen needs a fast time after that slightly slower one before. Slapping that on 5.9. Whoa.
Wow.
Sub 6.
Yeah.
Well, he needed to dig deep, and he did on that one. Back down to the ground for him. That was a good comeback climb.
Yeah, super good. And it's same thing comes to technique, the ice, and sometimes you get that mood and you just keep going.
Mm-hmm. Well, good comeback. He immediately looked over left as well to check the time. He knew he was up against it on that run. And it's what I quite like about this format, because it's these two runs against each other. Timing is so important. You can come back, but obviously you don't want to leave yourself too much work to do. Okay, Kim Joel on the left-hand side of your screen, Kerlin Nyamadou on the right-hand side. This could be another fast one, so don't look away for 1 second if you're watching. Driving that Fifi into the axe, making sure of that first purchase here. Well, they're underway, but it was shaky from both. Now they start to pick up the pace as we reach towards the top of the wall. A huge stretch at the end. He did a double slap just to make sure.
You saw that the right climber finished before the left climber, but because they're starting at different times, the climber on the left got a lower time, like 7.3.1, and they took it off the screen.
And this does seem to be his tactic, doesn't it? We've seen him pause like that before. And just to let you know, the confirmation of that, Annetta was knocked down to the small final. We said it was a close time, and it was eventually. So Catalina Shirley progresses into the big final. Okay, so next up, and we are back to the second half of this heat. Kim Min Chol, number 8 on the right. And that little pause he does.
Yeah.
So forget about the race itself. It's not a race. It's all about the time. And 8.28.
2 slips. Yeah.
Well, it didn't work that time. Bouncing back down the wall. Well, just like that, our heat rounds are done. We're going to move forward into the final section of tonight's speed competition, where the medals are decided. And we will start off with the small final first of all. The most brutal race, I think, in terms of the finals. It's a medal or it's 4th place.
Yeah, it's, well, what we were talking about. It's, if you're going all the World Cup circuit, if you're constant 4th, you can be the champion of the circuit. So it's not that bad. There's no 4th place medal. It will be, I don't know, like pewter medal or something like that. But
yeah, it's certainly a place that no one wants to get in any speed competition. Again, a stressful race. Well, the athletes will wait here on the edge, breathing deep, trying to suck some air back into the lungs on this one. And that is the base of the ice wall. It's taken some abuse over this afternoon's entertainment as a selfie is taken over on the right-hand side. They obviously got their sweeping done quickly. Well, we pan up the wall here. That is what the athletes have been attacking.
How it has been shattering as they go up, like all the cracks they're going downwards, and the exterior side is not immaculate, but in better state.
Yeah, exactly. Well, the sweeping is almost being done here. And we're about to move on to the final couple of races of tonight's entertainment.
And something that, compared to tomorrow's, there's no technicals. And that's something that will be talked tomorrow. When a hold breaks in a lead competition, you have a technical, so you can restart again. On speed ice, if the hold breaks, that's it. You're done. So you cannot call a technical and do the route again.
No, you cannot. Okay, so small final time. Eugene Chia on the left-hand side from Korea up against Aneta Lujecka on the right-hand side. And there's a little bit of a pause here. I think we got we talked about technical incidents. We kind of have one right now.
They go on opposite sides.
Ah, I see.
Okay.
So they will swap sides over again just to make things confusing for us as well here. We're trying to keep up with this. So, on their correct side, Aneta on the left. Let's see who will take the first medal of our first World Cup. Both athletes look up. No, we have another incident. That's annoying. So, not sure what's going on here. But it's certainly tricky because it's a side swap. Come on, people. Let's sort this one out, shall we?
Okay. Change again.
Well, yeah.
Well, so, make it more interesting, like all the suspense and...
Yeah, it's not what we really want to see. We want some quick decisions made on that one, the athletes being out there in the cold. But I think now perhaps we're ready to go. Let's have a check, shall we? So we get reset again. Athletes look up. And they are underway here, and off we go, and it's a good start. But it's a big slip for Annetta on the right-hand side. She blows through that ice. We've talked about it happening, and it can happen, and it happened to Annetta. So that means that, barring slips, Cha will take the bronze medal. And she waves in congratulations there. Theoretically, it's not over, because they will swap over and go again, but I think...
will have to go again.
Yeah. But I think the writing's on the wall on that one. So nice to see some... and Annetta was ahead as well before that big slip out of the ice. Exploding away from that Fifi there. Unlucky stuff for her. But a fourth place finish, still a good result for anyone. But what a bronze medal this should be for Cha. If she can keep it together through here. I've got my fingers crossed. I'm nervous.
Well, I don't know. Sometimes drama pays out.
Yes, I think she's going to keep it together, though. Oh, my goodness, maybe not. That was a big slip from her.
Judges would do if she...
Well, it would have to then be reset. They'd run again. So she wants to keep it together. She does. A bronze medal. I kind of didn't want to award it too early in case she slipped, but now it is confirmed. She takes that bronze. Fantastic performance from her. And emotions coming out there. I think it is her first medal and a huge moment for her. All that hard work paying off as she leaves the stage. All right, well, finals time here as you watch just a replay of this moment as she made her way up the wall. And she was hesitant as we'd expect, just needed to keep it together. Okay, so final race right now. Catalina Shirley on the right-hand side, Celine Nyamadou on the left, and we're underway here. There's some slipping and sliding going on right now, but it's Catalina Shirley who is slightly ahead as we near the top of the wall. She stops the clock at a 9.749, and that is a very good start to her finals there.
Good for her.
A second ahead.
She's such a strong climber. All around, like on lead and on ice. And she's a super role model for female climbers.
Yes, she is. And she's given herself about a second's leeway here and celebrates as she comes down. She knows she's done well, but one more run to go. And we've seen lots of back and forth happening tonight, so you never know. Can Nyamadou pull something back from the brink here? Approaches the wall, makes sure of that positioning. Right, well, they're both underway here. Nyamadou is faster at the moment, and she's got a lot of time to make up, but you know what? She might have done it. Slips back. Catalina just needs to stay in touch. Let's see what happens, and she stops the clock. We're going to have to wait and see. I have no idea who will have won that one. We'll wait and see from the celebrations. And they wait for confirmation as well as us here. And hugs all round. I think it might have gone to Catalina Shirley there. Well, hopefully get some confirmation of that one, but I think it's gone to her. I think she was slightly ahead.
It looks like there was only a 0.3 second difference. So we'll see.
Oh, super close. Right, the small final for the men. Kim Min-chol versus Beshet, and Mohammed there, Mohsen, sorry, taking the 6.397. This is an 8. There's a lot of work to do for Kim Min-chol on the right. And look at that technique. He's been pretty much flawless throughout this competition. And Mohsen there, a very fast time. That's going to take some beating in the second heat.
We'll have to be like 3 seconds below him.
Okay, so underway for Mohsen here. Really, really fast, powering his way up. It's easily going to be his. And yes, so that will be a bronze medal. Quite a few seconds ahead by the end of that one.
Yeah, he played well. So he did no mistakes going up.
Yeah, super smooth as he has been throughout this competition. That style, left-right kicking, nice and smooth from him. Powers his way up, slaps the top. Good work.
I don't know if you have noticed, his style is very close. He doesn't open much, so he allows his legs to power him up.
Yeah, pulling down on those fifis rather than side to side. Okay, so our final race of this evening. 2 heats, remember, it's all about the clock. Let's see what can happen here. Safridan Mohamed Reza on the left-hand side. Kerlin Nyamadou on the right. It's absolutely neck and neck, but now Safridan pulls ahead, and our gold medalist from last year has a second in hand. Almost exactly a second as he's back down to the ground. Big slip from him on the left. All right, well, our final heat here, and with a second in hand, you've got to say, Safdarian looks like the favourite for this one.
Yeah, he's very, very strong, and he trains all the time. Like, I follow him on Instagram, and I talk to him every now and then, and it's always training, always a very strict regiment of training and food and going to training camps and all that stuff.
Okay, well, here we go, a final race. So let's go and look at that. As expected, he's fast again, laying it all on the line as he approaches the top. It will be the gold medal once again for him. 2 out of 2 in South Korea. Well, fantastic stuff as he's back down to the ground. And not much of a celebration, but now we see the fist pump.
He's also a very good and strong lead climber. We'll see him tomorrow on the semis and probably in the finals.
So celebrations all round here as we watch this one more time. A couple of slips over on the left-hand side from Kerlin Nyamadou, but really that night belonged to Safdarian. Powerful stuff from him as he takes that gold medal. Well, everyone, we will soon be saying goodbye. Just a reminder that tomorrow we have the semi-finals and finals. Thank you so much, Peter, for joining me here in the commentary box.
Thank you for having me here.
Now, I mentioned thin ice quite a few times. We're going to show you a teaser from that documentary series at the end of this broadcast. My name has been Matt Groom. Thank you for joining me tonight, and I will see you tomorrow for semi-finals and finals action.
Not a little.